Hey guys, welcome back to It Takes Two. I'm Emily,
And I'm Quinlan.
and today we're talking all things urban legends, myths, and conspiracy theories.
We're kind of doing a mix, everything in between. We're going to try to throw stuff in there that really doesn't fit, but we're going to make it work.
It's just our excuse to talk about random topics that we think are funny that people may not care about, but it makes sense for like Halloween style episode, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good kickstart into some Halloween. So, we're going to try to fit whatever we can in there. So, I think we should just jump right in. One of the scariest like urban legends for me growing up was hands down Bloody Mary. I literally still to this day get spooked when I look in the mirror and I'm like, she's gonna get me.
There's a name for being scared of seeing things in the mirror because like I have that fear too. Like if I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'm like I won't look in the mirror because there's gonna be something there.
No, absolutely not. I have this one mirror that's near the front of the house, but it looks down the hallway. So when I walk by it out of the corner of my eye, I'll see something moving in the mirror and it freaks me out every time because the mirror looks all the way down the opposite end of the house into the like spare room, and that's what freaks me out because I'm like, why is there movement in there? But I think it's her every time. I'm like, she's getting me.
That was the only episode of Supernatural that I had never seen until probably March of this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's a big thing. Like my mom never liked that one, so she was like, I can't do
We're
this. We're
skipping it.
skipping this one. And I was like, you know what? That's fair. That's very fair.
Fair enough. I would skip it too. There was probably days when I was home alone watching it and I would skip it. If it was daytime, I'd watch it, but if it was nighttime and I was already a little freaked out, I'd be like, we're going to skip this one this time."
I only even watched it because Anna was there and she was like, oh, we should just watch this one. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. I just think I don't know. And like we'd have slumber parties and stuff when we were little and we'd like joke about it and then like a bunch of us would go into the bathroom to like pretend to say it and then we'd all check it out because it was just so scary. It was just terrifying.
I'm glad that my slumber parties growing up were not like that. They were like, let's watch Barbie movies and Hannah Montana because we are very sheltered small children.
Oh my gosh, no. Literally the exact opposite. One time we all pretended to be ghosts and we all dressed in all white and we walked around the neighborhood holding candles in the middle of the night.
That's hilarious.
So I had some pretty like spooky like slumber parties that we did. I mean, I don't know who let us out. Nobody, obviously. We just let ourselves out, but
You know what, though? You bring up a great idea.
hmm.
We should definitely take Halloween photos this year dressed as our ghosts. Obviously. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, put some sunnies on, like the sheets, like the trends where everyone's put like pumpkins on their head or like sunglasses on
Yes,
for a sheet. I think we should.
100%.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna get photos while you're here. We're gonna do some promotional stuff. It's gonna be great.
might as well add the ghosties in there.
You guys better follow our TikTok now because there's gonna be some great content when Quinlan comes to visit.
We're gonna be making TikToks left and right everywhere we go.
Literally, it's gonna be a problem. Speaking of going to places to visit, one of my favorite things is the Denver airport. So I've only been there once. Me and my mom definitely looked for all of the like spooky murals and stuff, and we found a couple. They are kind of weird. Made sure to ride the little train through all the tunnels. You just get weird vibes being there.
Okay.
But the most iconic thing is Blucifer, the giant horse statue that sits outside the airport. It's even worse because he killed his creator. As they were finishing the piece, his head fell off and squished the man who created him.
Ugh, that's so gross.
And to this day, like, it's a giant blue horse outside of the airport that's eyes glow red at night.
That's creepy.
He's literally a demon.
That's really scary.
Me and one of my best friends in high school,
Mm-hmm.
we would watch like conspiracy videos all the time.
Yeah.
And we loved the story of Blucifer so much. We were supposed to make Christmas cookies that night. My mom was like, well, you guys better make cookies while you're here. And so we went upstairs and we made blue turkeys with red eyeballs. because we didn't have a
Ugh.
horse cookie cutter, so we just made them and we
That's
called them
hardcore.
Blucifer. And I recently was talking to my mom about that, and she was like, "That's why you guys made them? I was so confused why we had blue turkeys for Christmas."
She didn't question it then. She was like, "Eh, you did what you were supposed to."
She was like, "I guess I'll just let you guys do what you're gonna do, but okay."
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Crazy that a dude was killed by his own.
Yeah, especially, like, with everything else at the Denver airport, it's
Oh yeah.
just too much.
That really makes me think of Slender Man, okay? Because have you seen the girls that stabbed the other little girl 19 times?
Yes, I watched, like, a docu-series on that.
Yeah, because she wanted to be with Lucifer, wanted to see him, and her buddies were like, "Yeah, we'll take you in the woods and you can meet him." And then they stabbed her 19 times. And what, she was like 12? I want to say she was like a preteen or like a tween, somewhere around there. Like, and she got stabbed 19 times and they just left her for dead in a park. All because of Slender Man.
Which is, like, so weird because I feel like I don't really remember Slenderman being, like, a huge thing growing up. I mean, granted, obviously, I went to, like, religious schools, so that wasn't a big thing, and didn't really have access as much to the internet, obviously.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like I would have heard more about it. Like, I always heard jokes about Slenderman, like, "Oh, Slenderman's gonna get you," but it was never, like, talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just insane, like, hearing, like, that specific case in general, because when I was in middle school, I was reading all about the creepy pasta, the Slender Man. I watched people play the game because I was too scared to play the game, streamers playing Slender
Always.
Man, but I was too scared to play it. But I mean, even to this day, I like watching Slenderman movies. We just recently went camping, and for our project, so like we had to download movies so we could watch them offline when we were there. One of the movies I specifically downloaded for while we were camping was Always Watching. It's a Slenderman movie. It's like a found footage style scary movie. So we were in the woods and then, watching on a big projector, Slenderman coming to get us. It was pretty cool.
Remind me to never go camping with you.
Oh, I know. I mean, I had other movies too. I got a good range of horror movies when we went. I didn't like.
But you only watched horror movies while camping in the woods.
Yeah, and I specifically downloaded ones that took place in the woods. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how Lila and Pacey put up with you. I couldn't have done that.
they love me, okay?
I mean, I love you too, but would not have loved you in that moment.
Oh no, like literally we all went to the bathroom together. We were walking everywhere together because we were all spooked. So,
Good.
yeah, we would like pretend to be Slenderman. We'd like run up ahead and like Lila put her hood on backwards and she was like hiding in the bush staring at us.
I hate that.
Yeah, it was creepy. I mean, it was so funny though. But yeah, Slenderman's another big like what what would you call him? I don't even know.
I don't he's like transcends certain things because it's like true crime because there's was a couple other like Slenderman killings
Yeah,
and stuff around that
yeah,
time because I've
exactly.
watched like a bunch of docu-series on that because obviously I am a true crime junkie because why wouldn't I be?
Who isn't?
Exactly. Trauma, you know?
He's a good mix.
Yeah, because he was a myth.
Yeah.
And like you said, there was a video game, but then there was also like these weird ritualistic killings from children. Like,
Mhm.
it's everything and nothing at the same time.
It's creepy. Yeah, crazy dude.
Speaking of crazy stabbings,
Oh.
I feel like we should talk about the clown killers.
Oh god. The clown hysteria of 2016. That specific clown stabbing.
That specific era of clown stabbings.
Oh my god. Because of this hysteria and things that were going on, I made my mom put a deadbolt lock on my bedroom door. Okay? Because my room was in the basement and you had to go outside, down the deck stairs, around the corner to the exterior door to go into the basement. So my room was in the basement, completely cut off from everybody else. And I couldn't lock the door to the basement because like my brother or sister, somebody else needed to come and go as they needed. So I made my mom put a lock on my door in my bedroom, and we had to like straight up big old like deadbolt because I was scared. I thought they were gonna get me, and I was in the basement, and like, oh, I was so spooked.
I mean, to be fair, weren't they like around your school and stuff? Like there was a ton in St. Helens.
Oh, yes, 100%. So, yes, in St. Helens, there was a crazy amount of clown sightings, you know? I don't know how, obviously, how real or actual danger that they, like, presented to us or whatnot, you know?
Because a lot of them were staged, and then there was also like a group that didn't do stabbings but would just like wander.
Would stalk you and, like, yeah. And so, even though we didn't know, you know, like, that's what was the scariest part is the unknown. Like, were these people trying to be funny? Were these people actually doing stuff? And there was a lot of people doing it in St. Helens, which is weird because it's so tiny, but it's also just a total like hick town. And I don't know where all these people were getting their clown costumes, but there was way too many people running around in clown costumes. It was scary, like way too threatening for what it should have been.
What's really weird about this, I never once saw a clown during that time. I lived in a pretty big city.
Yeah.
You would have think I would have seen them. Obviously, like around my school, not because we were super small. I had a friend who we met in high school, and then she had transferred, and they actually had like a stabbing
Oh,
at one of
jeez.
hers from a clown, and she saw it because it was like outside her classroom windows.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but never once during that entire time did I personally see a clown. So it was like a weird thing that I heard about and I knew about, but I was not exposed to it, which is so weird. Especially, I lived like right outside of Seattle. You would have thought I would have seen something.
Yeah. Seen something being that close to such a big group. So, yeah, we were what, juniors?
If it was 2016, we would have been 17 during that school year. It would have been junior year, yeah.
I think it was like the end or the beginning of junior year, so the end of 2016. And I just remember like sitting in class and like people showing photos that they had taken of clowns around town.
Ew.
And like we would talk about it, and I only ever saw one in person, so I don't even know like how real all these people's photos were, like how many people were like actually going out with their best friend taking scary photos in clown suits, you know?
Yeah.
But I saw one time, and I was by myself, and so like obviously nobody believed me because I was by myself. But I was driving home, or no, I was driving to pick up my sister, you know, something. So I was by myself, and I passed this little four-way intersection, and there was just a clown standing right underneath the street light, just in the corner, and I just like blew through it. I was like, I'm not stopping here.
As you
I'm not
should.
I'm not letting this dude get me. I was like, I'm gone. Yeah, like I said, yeah, we were what, 17? Yeah, barely had my license. Here I am just blowing through a stop sign because I was terrified. And like here we are, like people nowadays, like not now, but like younger kids now are like they probably just think we're crazy. Like that didn't happen. Why would you ever be scared of something like that? You know, like
Yeah.
but it was a real thing, and it was a big deal. I was scared.
Yeah, and like I was scared of clowns before that. Before they started killing people, like I used to. Okay, I think we've had this discussion before, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. But when we used to have McTeacher nights at McDonald's,
Okay.
Ronald McDonald would always come, be like a character, and I would literally hide in a corner behind my dad, and I was like, please don't let him see me, because if he'd see you, he'd be like, oh, hi. And I'm like, you stay away from me.
I will bite you. Stay away. That no. Clowns creepy as heck. I to this day not a fan.
The irony of it being one of our favorite movies.
Oh yeah, I just think that's like perfect though because like it really does show you how creepy and scary a single clown can be. Like
You know what? That made me really disappointed when I watched the John Wayne Gacy tapes because I always knew him as like the clown killer. And then I found out he didn't actually like kill anyone as a clown like I thought he did.
he just dressed up for fun.
Yeah, like he was just a clown occasionally. Like that wasn't when he was murdery. It was just I was a clown occasionally.
Yeah, he just had like a weird obsession with clowns.
I feel like the case was always described to me as like he killed them while dressed as a clown.
No. In his clown room basically where he just had like clown paintings everywhere and creepy, but he was a scary clown. Like I know he like volunteered to like be at people's parties and stuff dressed as a clown, and it's like I would not want that man anywhere near my party.
I had two teachers growing up separately that were party clowns.
What? I've never known anybody to be a party clown.
So the first one was my middle school volleyball coach. I can't remember 100% if he was a clown or not, but I'm pretty sure he was because I think I remember him like wearing a red nose for something and then talking about it. But the one that made the most sense was my freshman math teacher. He was also like the guy who ran the math team. Um
The mathletes. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Quinlan likes to make fun of me because she has real varsity letters, and my varsity letter is from being the varsity math team captain.
I love it. I absolutely love it. The mathletes. I think that's so cool.
It's funny too because there was some beef along with that. One guy was really mad that I was the captain because he wanted to be the captain, and I was like, dude, I didn't even pick to be. Somebody was like, you're joining the math team, and I was like, I am? Okay.
You're like, here's the captain position too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a freshman. I know our school's small, but like, varsity math team captain?
Varsity math captain. I love it. I think it's iconic.
Speaking about weird things that we learned in school,
Oh,
you know exactly where I'm going with this.
I know exactly where this is going.
I believe the school system failed us on disability representation when it comes to Helen Keller.
Oh, 100%.
I've been waiting for Quinlan's Helen Keller rant, so strap in.
I have not been a fan of Helen Keller since day one. Something seemed a little off. How did this girl, blind and deaf, from birth is what we know, what we're taught. Her whole life she was blind and deaf, and she wrote a book, and she learned how to communicate, and she did blah 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 blah. And I wanted to call bullshit. Okay? How? How? And I get the whole like people are like, "Oh, well like you would sign into their hand." And I'm like, "I totally get that." Now as like an adult, I have seen and learned about how people learn to sign different things through like ASL on their hands into somebody else's hands so they can learn and associate the signs. But how does someone who is blind and deaf do all of it?
Because if you were signing into her hand, how did she know what that word was?
Yes, exactly. And it just makes zero sense to me. So I was like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
She couldn't have been a real person.
I was like, she's not even real. I'm like, they're just lying to us. Obviously, I really didn't think that they were lying to, like, that she was not real. I just really decided one day to finally take it into my own hands, and I looked it up. Turns out she was only partially blind and partially deaf. So she wasn't like mute or anything else. She was partially blind, partially deaf. She was hard of hearing, essentially. She could still hear some things, she could still see some things.
Didn't she have issues with, oh, I don't remember what like illness it was, but that made her actually go blind for a period of time, and then she had more remaining vision at other points in time.
Yeah, and so like diseases, and then also you have to take into effect that we're learning about this as children. So this happened years and years prior. So technology, the medical just advances that we've had since then, like she was not set up for success.
No.
And everyone's always talking, she wrote a book, she did this, she went to college, blah blah blah. Like how?
She is sold as such a success story, which she really is, but it's never explained to us as children
Mm-hmm.
of how she was successful. It, like, you didn't believe it when you were little
Yeah.
because the way they set it up does not represent how actual disabilities work and how they, like, run on a spectrum. Being blind, I think it's something like almost 90% of blind people are not fully blind. They have some sort of remaining vision, whether that be light and shadow, to shapes, to just being legally blind. So why did they never explain that to us? Because if you're gonna teach children about something like this,
It should accurately do it.
yeah, but why are we still not talking about the representation of disability in media? That's still such a lacking area.
Exactly. Like, having people with disabilities portray people with disabilities on TV, not just somebody pretending or like somebody, yeah, like acting and pretending to have a disability when in reality, why did you not just get somebody with a disability to play that role?
Exactly. And that's why like I love Molly Burke and she talks about that a lot and she's auditioned for so many roles because she wants to bring that representation as a blind woman into media.
Yeah. Like getting rid of that stigma that like just blind people are blind, deaf people are deaf. There's so much more than that. And like you mentioned legally blind. Like you can be classified as legally blind and still just like wear glasses to correct your vision enough to see.
Yeah, like my grandma's legally blind, but she can still see.
She wears glasses and guess what? Vision is it's there. Like and I think that Helen Keller has just been this big like I thought of her as like an urban legend. I was like, she's not real, like conspiracy, like that type of thing. I was like, there is no way that this lady did all this. Like she was set up for failure. And then somehow she succeeded, and no one ever really took the time to ever explain how that success came.
Another failure of the education system that we had to teach ourselves through the internet.
Exactly. And I think I know like TikTok gets all this bad rap, but it's such a great resource of like you get to follow and like learn from people. Following such a variety of people with different disabilities, different things, and it helps you. It helps you learn so much better than obviously what the school was teaching us about what disabilities were. And so she never really made sense to me until yeah, we took the time to like actually when I told Emily this, she thought I was crazy.
I did. I really did. One day we're just in the car driving home and she just starts going off about Helen Keller and I'm like, "Excuse me? What?"
What's wrong with Helen Keller? And I'm like,
I was like,
everything.
I don't think I ever questioned it, honestly. Like I was like, they're just telling us about somebody cool and Quinlan took it very seriously.
I did. I didn't believe him. I was like, there's no way.
We definitely did a lot of Googling during that conversation to kind of justify where everything sat with Helen Keller.
Yeah, and how we were coming to the conclusion that like she wasn't real. But I mean, she totally was. It was just we were given the wrong information our whole like childhood.
Now, where do we go?
My only other one is Sasquatch.
Things you also don't believe exist. Or do you believe Sasquatch exists?
We as kids when we were camping, obviously I mentioned we went to camping a lot. We would literally go running through the woods looking for Sasquatch. We're in the Pacific Northwest, like that's where he supposedly is if he lived. And we had watched Harry and the Hendersons growing up.
What is that?
Do you know what that movie is?
No.
Oh my gosh, look it up. Harry and the Hendersons, okay?
Okay.
It's basically Sasquatch.
Did you really just ask me if I know the Sasquatch movie from 1987? Starring no one? No one big.
Well, you didn't know Harry and the Hendersons? John Lithgow. He's in a bunch of stuff.
You're kidding.
He's in Shrek. He's in Daddy's Home 2. He's in Dexter.
Is he literally Lord Farquaad?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I know his voice, I don't know his face.
Yeah, okay, so you got it. Yeah.
You watched the Sasquatch movie starring Lord Farquaad and asked me if I'd ever seen it.
Dude, I thought everybody had seen that movie, okay? I thought it was a universal experience. Harry and the Hendersons, okay? It's basically Sasquatch.
Can confirm, it is Sasquatch.
So, when we were little, when we were camping, we would go looking for Harry, the Sasquatch. We'd run through the woods. Oh my gosh, another thing about Sasquatch that I had not thought about previous to talking about this, okay? My dad was like really into Sasquatch hunting videos at one point.
Sounds about right.
Okay. And one thing that he learned was the Sasquatch call.
There's a specific call.
Well, depending on which documentary you're watching, they have different calls, okay?
Okay.
But one specific one that he liked was what we called whooping.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do it because it's loud, but I'll try. I have to I'll sit away, maybe face this way a little bit.
I'm scared. I'm scared right now, but okay.
Whoop, whoop. That's our Sasquatch call, okay?
Why would Sasquatch make that noise?
I don't know, but that's what they said in this documentary, okay? And we used to do our Sasquatch call, like my whole family, when we'd get separated in the store. We would whoop until whoop, that's what we called it, until we found each other again. Not call each other, not anything else. When we were camping, if we got separated, we'd whoop until we found each other at the campsite again.
Echolocation.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. I mean, and we would do it just ridiculously, and people would do it back sometimes in the store, and then we'd get really confused because I'd be like, "You're not my mom." And some other random person calling back while I'm trying to find my mom in Walmart, you know?
That's like trying to play Marco Polo in Walmart.
Yeah, but I figured it was kind of most people don't just whoop for fun, you know, in Walmart.
To be fair, you did.
We did, but it was only to locate each other.
I have no words, but it makes sense.
But it totally makes sense. That's literally just how we would find each other. And to this day, we still do it. And I'm telling you, this started like 10 years ago. No, not quite 10 years ago, but a long time ago because of Sasquatch.
I have a really funny story, but I don't think it really fits in this podcast.
Uh-oh. Tell it anyway.
So one time we were on set shooting just like short films or something. I don't even remember what class it was for, but one of our friends just came to be the actor. And in film school, you learn you're not supposed to wear shirts that have words or logos or even really pictures because all of those things are like copywritten
Mm-hmm.
and there's legality issues and it just looks bad half the time. As we made whole comments about Chad's shirts,
In High School Musical, yes.
the main actor who had all the close-ups, and it was basically like he was kidnapped during this thing, so he's tied up, so obviously you saw a lot of his shirt.
Yeah.
And he showed up wearing this shirt.
Okay, let me see it. No,
Yes,
he didn't.
he did.
Bigfoot ate my ass.
Yes.
Showed up to your to your filming with a shirt.
Yes. With Anna's grandma there.
No. No way. I love it. That's pretty ballsy.
Is it?
He's like, I'm gonna be in this film today. No where Bigfoot ate my ass.
That was just a chaotic shoot in general, and that was just like the cherry on top.
Oh gosh. That's funny. Bigfoot, man. Have you ever been to any Bigfoot restaurants?
In Washington, we have Bigfoot Java, but
There's I swear there's tons of Bigfoot restaurants. They just have giant statues of Bigfoot outside.
what the heck? No, we just have like little roadside coffee stands that literally their logo is like a giant foot.
Oh, it's a chain?
It's a chain.
Oh, that's kind of cool. No, literally just seen at least 3 different separate Bigfoot restaurants.
Quite strange. Very specific.
Yeah. So, I've been to those restaurants a few times. You know, nothing special. But I don't know, I think that's it. I think we hit all those kind of crazy weird stuff. We got to learn about Harry and the Hendersons, Helen Keller. You know, we kind of we covered a good range today.
We overcame our chaotic energy.
We stayed on track for the most part.
Honestly, I'm surprised today because we didn't have a plan going into this. Not like we normally do, but
less of a plan than usual.
so don't forget to follow our socials, Takes2Pod on Twitter and TikTok, Takes2_pod on Instagram, and as always, the full podcast episodes are on both YouTube and Spotify. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out, Cub Scout.